A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to the Vlog-A-Thon 5.0. And I do have a couple of things that I'm going to want to talk about based on certain new ideas. First of all, I could in fact just talk a few things regarding series that I have in fact done, and I've blatantly talked a lot about what they are in fact inspired by. Nerf Secret Reveal Distance Gauge does in fact rip off the likes of Random Shadow 09 and his long-running series of Nerf Blaster range tests. But then, of course, I've mentioned that there were some other series I have in the works. So, the thing is, I'm probably going to be ripping off a lot of people. I'm probably going to be taking their ideas and utilizing them for my own potential. But I'm just going to go ahead and explain a couple things about why that is. First of all, a lot of these channels are technically dead. A lot of them are. I mean, you got Random Shadow 09 who legit hasn't uploaded another thing since 2018. And then we also cannot forget about Nickname 2002, the famous Lego set building channel. They have not been online since 2015, so that makes for even bigger calibers relative to what we've been missing out on, and also how obscure they can be compared to what we got going on today. But I feel like if there's one big thing that's been growing for the past few years, it would have to be the Babish culinary universe. Because to tell you the truth, this whole year alone, I've gotten around to actually try a few unique recipes that Babish himself actually made. He recreated a lot of iconic things from various shows, movies, music videos, and tons of other great stuff. This whole year alone, I've gotten around to trying various things, from the perfect egg sandwich to Kronk's spinach puffs. And I really ought to say, I feel like I've done a great job doing that stuff too. I don't really have any photos of any sorts or any videos because I don't know what kind of purpose that would serve, but bottom line though, I've enjoyed Babish's many recipes to date. Maybe I could try the one where he made Australian pudding. Maybe that could happen next, but until then, not too sure what could show up. Let's just talk a couple of things though about recipes as a whole. Could I make my own series based on this? Actually, I could. And I probably would get hit hard. Copyright strikes and whatnot. If my videos would be in the same exact format as what he does, I mean, that's just sort of the problem I have in some ways. Skepticism is just through the roof in some ways. I sometimes get a little too nervous on how this stuff would actually work. If it would be okay with anybody at all to have your own ideas that are technically inspired by the likes of various people and creators of all sorts. And I'm not really going to specify exactly whom I would be referring to in some situations, but I feel like another really big thing though, I could create my own Thomas and Friends saga if Miss Oliver and Blossom can do it. Or should I say, the Wilstonator. Yeah, he's one of the best YouTubers I ever know. I ever have known, period. There's not much else I could say about him though, considering that he's not done a lot of things for the past few years. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to clarify on a couple things here. First of all, I'm not really intending on blatantly making complete and total copies of people's series by any means. I do not wish to intend on completely infringing copyright. I only intend to honor these various creators that are technically fallen and have since died. I mean, Nickname 2002 has been off for 7 years. Random Shadow 09's been off for 5 years. And then, of course, we have, well, the famous Little Big Planet players known as 4 Guys, 1 Card. They haven't done much since 2019, so that's 3 years. And then, of course, We could talk about a couple things relative to the many things that most creators these days have tried to do, but some, unfortunately, could not handle the bearings of life these days. But am I willing to just simply throw it all away for that reason? Certainly not. I do not want to try and dishonor them for that entire moment. But I'm only wanting to do what I would feel would be great as a way of paying a bit of tribute to these creators that were well known back in the day. But since they're now gone, we don't have much remnants of them left. We don't have much to remember them by. Except for these videos that are still around after all these years. But nowadays, I myself would probably be one of the very few to leave it well enough alone, but also have my own inspiration take place. And therefore, start a new series full of stuff that basically could have been them if they were still around. I'm pretty sure Random Shadow 09 never tried any Nerf blasters on his channel like the Shell Strike or the Ultra 3, but the thing is, if he were still alive on YouTube and he still was uploading regularly, I bet you he probably would do that. As a starting point, though. He'd probably do so much more than just that. Anyways, though, I don't really have that much else I can say about that, but recipes of any sorts, Nerf blasters, Hot Wheels, PS4 games, tons of other great stuff I managed to upload to YouTube, and I'm sure that it'll be that way for years to come. And so, if you want to see more of that on my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, stay on the Hollywood side, and I'll see y'all later.